final.
Breathing versus heart rate by Alyssa.
Klara? You smile.
Haley. So this is our introduction. Our hypothesis was the pace of a person's breathing will impact the rate in which their heart rate will increase. So this is some stuff that we use. We use a silent room in your office over there, and then we used like a lot of heart rate monitors, and then we had 6 people in our sample group, and then we had a breathing structure with heart rate monitor, operator, and
So our methods. So for the experiment, we had 3 different types of breathing. The first breathing was calm breathing, which consisted of breathing in 4 seconds in your nose and then breathing out 6 seconds out your mouth. Energy breathing was 6 seconds in your nose, 2 seconds out your mouth. And then we did sleep breathing, which was 4 seconds in your nose, a 7-second hold, and then 8 seconds out your mouth. So with the process, we had 6 participants per breathing exercise, but only 2 went at a time just because of like materials and other groups having to have their blood pressure monitors. We had 1 breathing instructor per 2 participants, and then we had 2 individuals in charge of each participant taking blood pressure for the participant. And blood pressure and heart rate was taken before the exercise, a minute into the exercise, immediately after, and then a minute after the exercise.
Alright, so here are our results. Okay, so for the sleep breathing, here are the heart rates. The different colored lines are the different subjects. But as you can see, they actually go down a little bit, and then immediately after they shoot back up, and then they become more normal a minute after. And then here's our sleep breathing blood pressures. So the data varied a lot. It also, like the heart rates, seemed like it lowered a little 1 minute in, and then maybe went up a bit after. I don't know. Okay, so these were the calm breathing heart rates. Actually, pretty similar results to the sleep breathing. The heart rates went down at first, and then most of them went back up a little after, and then stabilized. And then similar data with the blood pressure as well. Yeah, it also varied quite a bit. It looks like in general it went down a minute and then went back up and normalized, but yeah. Keep in mind that the blood pressure machines were not exactly reliable. They gave us some pretty unbelievable results sometimes, but yeah. And then for the energy breathing heart rates, this data was also pretty variable. So some people went up after starting, some people went down, and then it looks like most people went up immediately after they were done, though a few still went down and then went up 1 minute after. But yeah, that varies quite a bit. And then the blood pressure, it looks like it went down for some people, up for others. Yeah, the data was variable.
Okay, so here's our discussion and conclusion. So basically, one of the conclusions that we had was that each breathing technique impacted people differently. And so basically, I believe that for each person, either their parasympathetic or their sympathetic nervous system was activated. And so that's why you see the variable data, where some people just like went down and then spiked back up after they were no longer doing the breathing exercises, or they just spiked up and then just normalized afterwards. And so some of our limitations were changes in environment, like natural sunlight and like just being cloudy and dark, and then errors in blood pressure cuff. So there were the materials that we had, not always reliable, sometimes they were in fact errors. And then some changes, there were some fluctuations in procedure sometimes, like with one of our participants, their blood pressure varied so heavily that we actually got Mr. DeLauro twice. And so that was a super fluctuation in the procedure, so if we were to do it again, we wouldn't fluctuate as much.
Questions for our breathing group?
So, like, I completely lost my train of thought. I think it was something to do with calm breathing not having lasting effects, and like, why you think people still try to calm themselves down with their breathing, even if they'll just go back to normal afterwards.
Why do we think they try to calm themselves if it goes back down?
Yeah, I mean, like, why is calm breathing a thing if it just goes back to what it was before?
I mean, I feel like for certain aspects, especially for like those who struggle like mentally wise, having that second to like take a breath and just like really reflect on what's happening is good, even if it like goes back to like a treadmill type thing. But I feel like just having that second to like actually breathe kind of helps.
I agree. Sorry, can I add on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it may be more of an emotional and mental thing than a heart rate thing, because even if it doesn't have that much of an impact on the heart rate and blood pressure, you have to think, okay, breathe in for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, so it gives you something else to focus on rather than whatever's making you anxious in the moment.
I'll hop out and just say also to keep in mind that you guys weren't measuring people who were actively experiencing anxiety or panic attack or anything, so who knows what it would look like as far as like after effects with that. My question is, where did you get these breathing techniques? Like you had really specific breathing protocols. I'm really curious where you found them.
The self-care app called Finch.
Interesting. So this is great. So this was established on this app.
Yes.
These were supposed to be calm,
It's all, yeah,
energy, and sleep-based breathing.
yes.
Interesting.
They're also popular, like breathing techniques, not just in the app as well.
Yeah.
I've used them because my therapist is doing them too.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Also, I want to add to what Kate said, like some people, when they're going through like a special period of time, like when they are just having a great anxiety attack, they just cannot hold it, and they just have to like find a way to calm themselves down like immediately. And this is like probably the best way to do it. It's like really easy to.
You should have gotten the people that had come from the
From the
drama clips and the scary, yeah.
Do a little more working together next time, coordinating. All right, guys, thank you very much. Thank you very much.